Welcome to the Prospectors Radio Show, the talk show for our community. Please welcome Rich Cooley, Indiana Gold Hunter Dennis Dayton, Kathleen Biffle, and your host, Tim Grimes.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another edition of Prospector Radio. I'm your host, Tim Grimes. Joining me tonight, as always, we got Kathleen and Shad Biffles here, Rich Cooley, Scott Swiftwater Tony, and the Indiana Gold Hunter Dennis Dayton. And also tonight, we're being joined by a very special guest, Mr. Kevin Hoagland's in the house. What's going on, everybody? And Kevin?
Hey, everyone.
Not much.
Not much, man. It's been a crazy week, but we're here, as always. Kevin, you there?
Yeah.
I am here.
Okay, gee, I thought we lost you for a second.
No. There is a little dropout. I may have to, if it gets really bad, I may have to bail out and then
jump back in
to my computer real quick.
Okay, I'll be watching. If I see I lose, I'll know what happened. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, cool. So, Kevin, what's been going on, man? I know you're always busy, but what's been happening in the Kevin Hoagland land?
Well, let's see. The world of Kevin Hoagland lately has been working on the GPAA gold shows for 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I got all the claims finished up, was working on a couple of other projects, doing some other things, and then suddenly I was asked to work with the team on trying to do some things on the admin side of the gold show, something I've never done.
Really?
After 30 some odd years of going to the gold shows as a dealer, then working with Mine Lab, and then working with the GPAA.
Right.
It was that sudden realization I've never been on the admin side. And somebody asked me about, what do you do at the gold shows, or how do you plan? And like, they send me my airplane ticket, and I get on a plane, and I get off, and I do my job, and
right.
Go to the next one.
So what's the admin thing consist of? What would you be doing differently?
Well, I've been dealing with a lot of the vendors and helping working with the vendors on making sure that we've got their spaces set up, and then working with new vendors.
Okay.
A lot of new people that are coming into the gold shows for their very first time this year.
Really?
And that's been really exciting to me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's always cool. More the merrier. Yeah. That's definitely what we like to see. Now, did you go for any, are there going to be any, camping companies, four-wheeler companies, anything like that this year, or is it just mostly going to be all still golden metal detector stuff?
Well, I'm working with a lot of the local, some of the local chapters. We're working on bringing in the RV dealers, the ATV dealers. We've had some really great responses in the last couple of years when we've had RV dealers there, and we had a dealer that brought in a couple of the what do they call them? Oh, the R pods,
mm-hmm.
and the little teardrop trailers. And he had a few of those there, and then we had an ATV dealer that was at one of the shows, and they did real well. Matter of fact, I think they've already signed up for the Vancouver show. I'm not sure. I think we have their contracts in now.
It makes sense, I mean, it's...
Oh, yeah, it all goes hand in hand.
It sure does. I mean, I think Coleman should be there representing, in my opinion, with all the stuff they have to offer.
I'm with
with Coleman being so far into the ATV world and
mm-hmm.
everything else that they're doing now,
mm-hmm.
You can get a pop-up camper, pull it behind your Coleman side-by-side.
Right.
With your Coleman lantern and your Coleman gas stove and all your food inside your Coleman cooler, and make a prospecting weekend. I'm just waiting for the Coleman Gold Pan.
I'm telling you, they pretty much got everything else covered that's related to it. It's like, geez, you think they would be ones that'd be like, let's just do every one of these. I mean, they're a big enough company. It wouldn't be nothing to them to have a representative come out and set up, and it'd be pretty cool because we all use that stuff.
I think the biggest thing with Coleman is like any of those really big companies like that,
mm-hmm.
their advertising stuff is done a year in advance. So,
okay,
looking at it, it's like I'd love to step in. I'd love to step in with Ford National, Chevrolet, and GMC National.
Oh yeah,
different things like that for the future.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of a short notice. Yeah, it's like working with Cabela's,
Right. I got you.
When I was bringing Cabela's into, or bringing Mine Lab into Cabela's, we were working on projects in April and May that were going to be for the following year.
Oh, wow. That far. Huh?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Why did they do
and
it
I
like
have
that?
no idea what it's like with Bass Pro now.
Probably the same way. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
Them big companies, But why do they do it like that? Because, I mean, what's the reasoning?
I'm sorry, you dropped out just a little bit.
I said, what's the reasoning that they do that? Why do they do it like a year in advance?
When you take companies like Coleman and some of those groups like that, they are spending millions of dollars in advertising.
Right.
And I believe, well, just like Mind Lab and some of the other companies, you're going to do an incredible amount of due diligence before you make your spends.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it just takes them that long. And then when you've got a company like Coleman or any of these companies like that, they're going to want to execute in a very, very particular manner. Which means if they're going to be there, they want to make sure that the execution is absolutely perfect. And I've seen Coleman at a couple of shows in the past, like some of these really major, these really big shows, and it is an amazing thing to watch them. And to me, it rivals going to the SHOT Show.
Oh wow!
And yeah, when these people come in, it's just huge. And I would love to see the prospecting industry in that before it's all said and done. Over the years, we've watched some of the companies getting bigger and bigger.
Right.
And it'd be great to have almost like a manufacturer show up with a semi full of just what they do.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
definitely would.
Well, when I was living up in Prescott, every year for the SHOT Show, we had the Ruger factory right outside of Prescott.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was about six or seven semis just to get Ruger from Prescott, Arizona to Las Vegas.
Holy cow.
With everything that they... Yeah, and if you've ever been to a SHOT Show, when you walked into the Ruger display, it was these beautiful oak cabinets that were all, high gloss, polished, all this other stuff, with thousands upon thousands of firearms and all these beautiful, $100,000 cabinets.
Oh, geez.
Just gorgeous.
All that for a show.
All that for a show.
That's amazing, actually, when you think about it.
But, I heard once Bill Ruger was talking about it locally at one point in time, and I think at the SHOT Show they generally did about $60 to $70 million. Well,
cow. Yeah, I guess it wouldn't hurt to have them expensive cabinets.
Exactly. They only buy them once.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It would definitely pay off. I mean, it pays off for them to do those kind of shows, I guess. That's
And we all show up at gold shows with our pickup full of stuff, and we're ready to rock and roll, and we do a great job because that's what's expected from our industry.
Sure, you're right. Yeah, dirty boxes, buckets with dirt in them.
Yeah.
Stuff like
Yeah.
Yep. But
how many times have you grabbed a 5-gallon bucket and have found dead bugs on the bottom of it? Oh well, it's what we do.
That's right. That's right. But look at the fun it is. That's the thing. They're always great. So what show's coming up next for you? Where are you going to be?
The very first show is going to be the Pomona Gold Show, which is going to be February 15th and 16th, I do believe.
That's just right around the corner.
It is. It is. And Pomona has always been a great show.
Now
and after that, go ahead.
There's no Vegas show this year, correct?
No.
Okay.
No,
Somebody was asking me, and I'm like,
the venues in Vegas have gotten really weird, and there's been some really strange stuff that's gone on as far as like the timing's concerned.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of companies are booking way in advance.
I got you.
Like 3 or 4 or 5 years ago in advance, and working with our time period and our time slots to make it to where it would actually be a good show.
Right.
It's been pretty rough.
I understand, yeah. Well, but you're going to try to do it next year? Is that the plan, or?
I have no idea.
Or you're not even sure?
Right now we're looking at 2020, getting through 2020, and I hope that maybe by April or May, we're starting to look at 2021 and having all those plans.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah. And they may have already started of it. I'm just out of that part of it. I'm sorry?
Think of all the money that the GPAA saves people when you don't book a Vegas GPAA show. You save a lot of people a lot of money.
You're absolutely right. I cannot think of how many millions of dollars we have saved people that have shown up, and I've also heard that we've saved a couple of marriages. We've had a couple of marriages that have happened, and I don't think they actually knew who the wife or the husband was the next day.
Well,
it's Vegas, baby. It's Vegas.
If the sales were slow, it's because they were dumping all their money in the casinos and they weren't buying product.
Oh.
Well, that's going to happen.
Yeah. True.
And then Sunday night after the show, I won't say names, but man, I'll tell you what, I've seen people Monday morning that looked like they had just been beaten.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sure. Definitely. Yeah, Vegas will do that to you.
Oh, yeah.
I think Dennis was one of those one year.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Well, yeah, I was. That's because I was hanging out with Brandon.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wasn't feeling too well at the Vegas show.
You wasn't sick, was you, Kathleen?
I said I wasn't going to mention any names.
I thought it was an awesome show, especially because that was the first time I've ever even been to Las Vegas. So it was.
I definitely regret the show myself because that is where Rich, Kathleen, and I were drinking by the pool. And Rich came up with the great idea. We should get Scott Swiftwater, that guy, to come join us on the show.
Alcohol and decisions never mix. See?
Yeah. Don't be making decisions drinking by the swimming pool.
I had a bottle already for them when they got there. So
the hot sun and alcohol. Yeah. See?
I actually have nothing to add to this part of the conversation in any way, shape, or form. I know better than to make the decisions after drinking by the swimming pool.
Right. I mean, it's bad enough being in the hot sun and making decisions, but then you add alcohol, it's like, that just intensifies it. So,
yeah. Shake and bake.
Yeah.
Yep, shake and bake. All right, Dennis.
But, hey, youth, and Kathleen and Shad have the right because, they're youthful.
That's right.
Right. They're the youngsters.
Youthful.
I'm not a youngster.
I said youthful. I didn't say you were young. I said you were youthful. Come on.
Oh, wait.
We're young at heart.
Slack here.
I think I said, that's it. That's all that matters, too, Kathleen.
Yes.
That is all that matters. You only...
Okay, Kevin, coming back to the GPA meeting, do you find it, I'm just curious, do you find it harder now to have people come in and do the shows rather than 10, 15 years ago? Is it getting harder, or is it just people get burnt out, or just companies close down?
Well, unfortunately, there has been some closures over the last couple of years. Our industry is, as much as I want to say that it's still a strong industry. We all know that. It is a good and very strong industry, but there have been some manufacturers and some smaller guys that have just gotten out, or they've sold some of their product off, or done different things. So there could be times where it is a challenge. And I'm not going to say, to me, it's the natural progression.
Right.
But I will also tell you that every time that gold starts to go up, then people start to become more enthused, and the way that we're reaching out beyond just our industry, we're having more and more people that are starting to show up at gold shows. A few of the last gold shows last year were amazing because the people they didn't even know that you could find gold, that you could still go prospecting in these different places.
Yep. Yeah, that's what we always hear. It's like, I didn't know you could do that. It's like,
no, I'm sorry.
It's like they always say, I didn't know you could do that. It's like, yeah, you can do that. There's a lot of places out there, And when people ask me, like, where do you go and stuff like that, first thing I always tell them, just join the GPAA, get the claims book, enjoy the camping, and it'll tell you places to go in every state. So you can't beat it. That's the first thing I always tell them. Just do that and see what you think. And just get, you get your gold pan, everything you need from them. So just go and have fun. And if you like it, then you start buying dredges and high bankers and stuff like that. But that's the best starting point.
I think you guys need to bring back the panning contest too.
You know, we had last year we allowed, or the last couple of years we had the chapters were running the panning contest, and I've kicked it around as far as running it by California rules and doing some different things within the panning instead of just having it to where you go by whenever you want to and do some panning. Of actually having it more of the true competition.
Oh, that would be cool.
But
yeah, makes it more fun for me.
It will be. But given the fact that we're expanding the panning zone, I don't know if you've seen any of the latest posts, but
no,
you know, every weekend that over the last couple of years, Felix Paydirt has supplied us with well over an ounce of gold just for the panning zone.
Right.
And this year we're walking into the panning zone, doubling in size and close to about $4,000, almost $5,000 worth of gold into the panning zone.
Wow.
And that's all free.
And the panning zone.
The problem with having a panning contest on the backside of that is nobody leaves the panning zone to go get in the competition.
The panning zone always seems to be the big hit. I mean, everybody goes to the panning zone.
Do you have to use the pans there, or can you bring your own pan and use it?
No, Dennis, you have to use our pans. You're not showing up with a flow pan or anything else like that.
So I can't bring my Gold Claw and use my Gold Claw.
No, you cannot.
I thought you guys they had Gold Claws.
I was going to say they had gold claws at the panning station last year.
Yeah, they did.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. No, yeah. You can use your Gold Claw, but not the Gold Claw production pan.
Oh, not the new big boy.
Oh yeah.
Kevin's like, don't be bringing the pyramid
I'm just gonna.
That's what Dennis.
You show up with that. With. No, you're not. No, you're not bringing in a pyramid pro pan. You're not bringing in a Gold Hog slow pan. You're not walking in.
Dang.
Leave your hand suction dredge tube at home. You come in like that. I'm going to hand you a 3-inch pan, finishing pan, and just tell you to knock yourself out all day long.
You have to pat him down. What you're going to have to do?
And I'll spray it down with Pam before you ever get there.
I could just see somebody. Look, I just bought this new Golden Sands. I want to test it out in your.
Can I try this here? Yeah, sure.
Oh, dude, it happens every year.
Really?
It happens every year.
Does it?
I would have to shake my head just look at somebody.
Yeah. Shoot, I'm just going to bring the dredge in.
There you go.
Just dredge it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and when Red was doing a lot of the gold shows with Mike, and Mike was starting to set up the gold cube with the golden sand right there by the panning zone. You have no idea how many times I had people. I actually caught a guy that was trying to do that.
Oh my God!
Well, you're gonna need security.
It is a panty zone.
Right. Yeah. With the price of gold.
Yeah, exactly, Kathleen.
Oh yeah.
Good point. And it is a panning zone. I can't help. I just bought this fancy pan. I want to try it out. So. I don't know. So how much bigger? How much bigger is the panning zone now? If you guys made it bigger, how much bigger is it?
We're talking about doubling the size.
Holy cow!
Oh, good heavens!
When it's all said and done, given what we currently have, I'm going to call it. Well, if it's in Pomona, it's going to be 250 feet of Pomona Creek, and when we're in North Carolina, it's going to be 250 feet of North Carolina Creek, and so on like that.
Oh, man.
Which will be the richest. If I've got 4 ounces of gold floating around in the trough in Phoenix, Arizona, Phoenix Creek is going to be the richest creek in the state of Arizona, bar none.
Right.
Scott, you know where to go after they pull stakes.
The panning zone.
Go to where the panning zone was. Dredge it out. Head on home.
What's really funny is because the panning zones, like the last 2 years, they're pretty much elbow to elbow most of the day. Seems so I could see Kevin making it a little bit bigger,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
yeah, and it needs to get bigger because there has been so much enthusiasm, and not just. And to me, the panning zone has always been that place for people to come in and learn.
Right.
And with all the volunteers that we have in there, yeah, we got these guys. You know, we've got some guys that'll come in there and they'll move 5 feet down, and they'll move 5 feet down, and their whole intention is to try to take an ounce of gold out of the panning zone over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you what, when you've got somebody like that, and one mother stands there and says, "Hey, you know, you've been here for a long time. Could my little 5-year-old boy come in here and do a little bit of panning?" And they say it loud enough. Everybody has a tendency to look at that one guy that's been hanging out at the panning zone all day long, and yeah, problem solved.
Yep.
Well, Manny Coolwater Quinn said, you should hit the panning zone because it'll be the only gold you can find. And Manny would pay to see that too.
Oh, man.
So what's it like when you guys are done with their show and you go to clean all them out, take all the water out of them? And you got to put all that material in buckets and then haul it out of there, correct?
Yeah, we do. And what we'll do is I've got a nice big 110 volt pump, and we'll pump all the water out, and then the volunteers will muck it back in the 5-gallon bucket sitting on the pallet, and then we load that on the truck very securely and head to the next one.
Take it away,
and of course we keep a really close eye on where that is, and it's also the heaviest pallet on the truck.
Sure.
Oh yeah, I bet.
I can imagine.
Hey, it's cool though. You know, it's nice.
Yeah. Once that pallet hits the truck, there's always somebody standing in the truck keeping an eye on that pallet.
Sure, you don't want them buckets to walk away, right?
No.
Kevin, I've been to a couple gold shows and actually set up when I was doing some stuff with Don and the Vibra Washer, so I kind of got a clue. But like a lot of people don't know this, what's the typical time for setup and tear down on a show like that?
If you are a vendor, we're not going to let you in till 12 noon. And that's on Friday. And when all the volunteers show up, the volunteers are generally there by 7:30, 7:45. We open up the doors at 8. And those people, those members, put the show together and help us put the show together in anywhere from 3 to 4 hours. And if you take venues like Phoenix and Pomona and Vegas, you know, these really big facilities like that where we've had hundreds of dealers and so on, hundreds of vendors and dealers, to see these groups of all these GPA members just come together, and some of them have been doing gold shows for years and years and years, and we don't even have to tell them what to do. They see the pipe and drape cart pull in. They know exactly what all they're looking for is the measurements. You know?
That's good.
And you figure that the standard crew from the GPAA there's about 4 of us. That sometimes it's a little bit less, sometimes it's a little bit more, but on the average it's 4 members from the GPAA. And the members put the show together in just a matter of 3 to 4 hours. And then, of course, Sunday night when everybody is tired and they're beat up and it's just been that wonderful long weekend, they tear the show down and have it back in the truck and trailer within 2 to 3 hours.
Wow.
So is it a lot of personal volunteers or more club related, like the GPAA Club of Phoenix or the Club of California or, you know, Ohio?
Yeah, it's all chapters. It's all GPA chapters. That's all the members. It's when we're doing it like that, you know, the major prize raffles, the hosting chapters, they get all the money that comes in for the major prize raffles and so on like that. I mean, we don't keep any of that. It's a big fundraiser.
Oh, that's cool.
And they work hard for it. They absolutely come in and work hard for that money that they take away.
This is true.
Yeah, and that's what some, you know, a lot of people think that we take the money from the major prize raffle. We don't. We well, in Vancouver, there was 3 hosting chapters, and I'm not going to say the exact numbers, but you know, each chapter walked away with thousands of dollars at the end of the weekend.
See, that's good though.
Yeah,
that helps.
It's not. We're not there to do it.
Right.
You know.
Right. That's awesome though. Didn't know that. That's pretty cool. that definitely helps the chapters out in a big way.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Absolutely. And for some of the smaller chapters, like when we're going into South Dakota, I think this will be their biggest fundraiser for the entire year.
Awesome. Very cool. That is good.
And we're glad to do it.
Heck yeah. That is cool.
And we have some new manufacturers. We have some new vendors coming in this year as major prize raffle donors.
Okay.
And that, for them, that's just really cool stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sure.
I'm looking for, yeah.
Can you tell us who they
Jeff
are?
over at GeoSluice is introducing a new product, and
okay,
we're going to actually have a couple of product launches during the gold shows. I just don't know which shows yet because they're still working on getting they're beyond prototyping. They're getting their production runs done, and then we'll work that in. And of course, when you go to the Golden Treasures GPAA Golden Treasure Facebook page, you'll see when we have those announcements of launches, we'll be able to put those out there.
Oh, very cool! Yeah. New products, always cool.
Oh, I gotta tell you, man. There's a couple of really new products now, and one that I just got finished testing that I love. It's a new wireless headset unit for a metal detector.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. The newest 5.0. I don't even know what it is. 5 point something. I don't have the paperwork in front of me, but it's it'll work on any detector that there is.
What?
It's the latest Bluetooth, wireless headphones, and when you see the video I'm working on, you'll recognize the headphones very, very quickly.
Oh, wow.
But, we'll be giving away some of those. We'll be giving away one a day during the gold show.
Sweet.
For all the gold shows.
Sweet.
But it's a complete wireless unit that's selling for under $140.
And it works on any detector. Any detector.
Works on any detector.
That's the coolest part of it. It works on any detector. Dang. Yeah. That is cool.
No adapters needed. The only thing that you might, if you're it comes with it. It comes with a 90-degree quarter-inch plug to the 3.5, and that's really all you need. And so far, I've tried it on a lot of different machines, and I haven't found a problem. Oh, hold on. Let me say that differently.
Okay.
It works on any detector that doesn't already have wireless capability built into it.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you've got something like the MindLab Equinox that's already got the wireless into it, doesn't work real well. It doesn't work there.
Okay.
So if I've got a 1992 Fisher Gold Bug and I want to go wireless, I can go wireless.
Sweet. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
That's one of the things that thrills me because even today, when everybody, there's a lot of people screaming and hollering about how bad this is, and this whole the whole idea of gold prospecting is archaic, and it's this and it's that, and all the organizations are suffering, and everything that I hear like this. But man, there are people out there inventing new stuff.
Right.
Just for this industry.
Sure.
And it's cool stuff. And it's, I remember somebody said something years ago. There was a remark made about, well, what do you think of the recession? And I think it was Warren Buffett. And they asked him, what do you think of the recession? And he just looked and replied and said, "Oh, I decided not to participate." I'm like, wow, what a brilliant answer.
Yeah, it is. Dang. I just all like new products. I like to see what's coming out each year, what they have. Who, like you said, these people coming up with these ideas, and then how well they work. And it's just like really just cool. I just love it. Yeah.
Some are crazy, some are not.
Right. Some are crazy, some aren't.
Yeah.
Kevin, I got a question.
And they've got some old products that are coming back, that are making their loop back around and really cool things. So.
Oh, that's cool. Rich, you got a question, you said?
Yeah, basically I had a side chat with someone asking about, and it's probably more or less falls to AMRA, probably. But as for miners' rights, do you guys get involved with that at all for miners' rights, or is that just basically AMRA? Do you work together with them? That's what they'd like to know.
Okay. If you're a GPAA member, please read the article that I've written about about the GPAA and land rights. Listen to my podcast about GPAA and land rights. The GPAA is a membership organization. Our job is to inform members of what is going on. So it's, and I can use different organizations, but one of the biggest organizations that's out there that we all know of is the NRA. And each one, and the NRA has a whole lot of different arms. And I look at what the GPA's job is. We're not lawyers. We're not attorneys. We're a membership organization. Last year, we gave, at the beginning of last year, we raised $50,000 some odd dollars for AMRA. Because Shannon and the entire team from AMRA came to the table with a plan. And that plan was viable.
Right.
It was a very viable plan, and that plan is still moving forward, and it's still operating, and they're making, they're making steps.
Okay.
So what GPAA has done for decades has been a financial arm for projects that make sense within the mining industry about land rights. And we've also been that information arm. That's what we do. Come to us with a good plan about land rights. And people ask me, okay, what's a good plan? What is all of that about? And to me, it's real simple. If you're only worried about saving prospecting in your neighborhood and you come to us, it doesn't have an impact. I mean, we'll put you in contact with the right people to help you.
Right.
And generally that's AMRA and some of the other organizations that are out there. And I'll use AMRA because that was the one that was mentioned. We'll put them in contact with that. But if you come to us with a plan that affects California, Idaho, Washington, Oregon, Arizona, Colorado, and it's a plan that's going to be a betterment for land rights all the way down the line, you bet we're in.
Nice. Okay.
We're in. And as I wrote into the last article, over the last decade, GPAA has been well into the 6 and 7 figures in support.
Right.
So I hope that answered the question. We inform. So when somebody tells us what's going on, we put it on the website. And we have an invitation for.
The articles that you wrote are on your website, on GPAA website, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Or if you're a member, you'll have it in the magazine. And there was a question that somebody asked. There's a section of the magazine now called Ask Kevin. And there was somebody that asked, what are you guys doing? Why are you not in the game? And I got to tell you, I mean, I understand people coming in they may not see that, but also as somebody that has been in the land rights realm, I was with an organization called People for the West back in the late 80s, early 90s. And that was, and I always said that was an organization that was destined to die right off the bat because they called themselves People for the West, and they pretty well ostracized everybody else.
Right.
But, that was an organization that was making great headway. And I will tell you back then, and this was before George was dead, before George had passed away, there was funding that was coming in back then. So I can tell you that there's been funding that has been done by the GPAA for land rights organizations for decades.
That's cool.
And you tell us what, we give you a space. If you want to write an article, that makes sense, that actually has an impact on land rights, and you're a land right activist or you're a land right organization, we beg you and encourage you to write those articles. We'll publish them. we'll put them on the website, and they have to be, you come with something that makes sense. Don't come out there and just start screaming and hollering that the sky's falling, the earth is opening up, and we're all going to die a miserable death.
Dang.
Well, it's flat. It's flat, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man,
so
just had some thoughts.
I love those questions. I really do, because it has been a big one that's I've dealt with over the years.
Okay, I was just reading in the chat room.
Okay.
I was always thought like GPAA is like a big nice club, and you get to meet people all around the world. But you, as a prospector, or you still have to know the rules of being out there, and that's like the GPAA tries to show you some of those rules, but you can't be on every one of them. I think people have to take it on themselves to learn those rules.
Absolutely, and that is where like the online mining guide. The online mining guide, whenever you go on, as a GPA member, you go to, I don't care what state it is, I don't care what claim it is, vulture bait here in Arizona. When I go to Arizona and I bring up any claim, you'll have getting there, which is the driving directions and what members have got to say. Mm-hmm. The prospecting, which is a prospecting reports. And the last tab is regulation. And that regulations tab covers everything that we have within the state of Arizona. And I work pretty closely now that I've got a lot of the admin onto the online mining guide. I've worked very closely with BLM offices and Forest Service offices and states to get the information that is absolutely up to date for what's going on.
Oh, that's
the very best that I can. And I got to tell you, I think I've said this. I don't know if I've said that on this. I said it on this show or not. But I've got to give a big kudos to the state geologist for the state of New Mexico. He called me and said, "Look, there's a little bit of discrepancy in what you have in your online mining guide as to what the new current regulation is." And I said, "Well, we're dealing with what we get from you guys. Give me a week." A week later, I got a PDF file from him that not only was from the state of New Mexico, their rules and regulations, but the current rules and regulations for the United States Forest Service and the current rules and regulations for all of the BLM land administered in the state of New Mexico. Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize it, but the BLM and Forest Service and the state geologist all worked in the same building.
Oh, wow.
So he went and put everything together, and literally all I had to do was cut and paste it and drop it into the online mine and drop it into the online mining guide, and had all the current rules and regulations for the state of New Mexico.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh.
Yeah, somebody that did their job,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the guy is real pro mining. I mean, he is a state geologist, so part of his job is to be able to go out, and I think he's pro mining. I can't say for sure that he is, but
right.
You have a guy like that jumps into something like that, and when you're talking to him, he's talking about mining, and he's talking about not just prospecting, but when somebody goes from being a prospector to being a miner, that's where he steps in.
Gotcha.
And he's excited about it. He loves that because, of course, it creates revenue for the state. And somebody walks away with gold.
Kevin, I got a message for you from a good friend of ours, Lee Hirschberger.
Hey.
He said, tell you to focus.
Wow.
Wow.
You know what that means, right?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Lee.
Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just passing it
No.
on.
No. Lee never calls me. He never comes by. Last time I think he was in Arizona, he drove by, and I haven't seen Lee in the last couple of years.
Well, we seen Lee at the Dayton Gold Show. Was the last time we seen Lee. Me, Kathleen, Shad.
Oh.
We seen him in, right, Kathleen?
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw him. He popped in.
It was Dayton. Yep, that was last time we seen him. Hung out with us. And that was last time we seen Lee. Hopefully we'll see him this year.
He's a good guy.
Oh,
I like Lee. Yeah. Lee's one of those guys I've never just wanted to strangle.
No. No, hopefully he makes it to the gold shows this year.
Lee comes to me at a gold show.
See? I'm sure he'll be the Columbus one, probably, more than likely.
Yeah.
You could see him there. Mm-hmm. That'll be nice. We all could see him, catch up with him, because it's been a while. Yeah.
It has been a while.
Now, are you guys going to have any of them celebrity speakers this year, like you did last year, how you had Emily and stuff? You guys doing that again this year, or no?
That's really up to the chapters. That has always been something that the chapters have done. Yeah. The chapters will reach out. Vancouver, I think Vancouver over the last few years, they've had a lot of the folks off of Gold Rush and Bering Sea Gold and different things. And I know that Emily has been there. Palm Rinkies, the whole family has been to those shows as well.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really up to the chapters, and because we administer it, and we help them the very best what we can. But most of the time, when the chapters reach out, these folks jump in because they want to support the chapters. They want to help support the chapters and do different things.
Well, that's good. See, that is awesome. I like hearing that too.
Yeah. See, when we bring in a celebrity, the GPAA,
right?
We'll bring in celebrities like Swiftwater,
right? Exactly. A big name. Somebody that'll draw the crowd.
We're bringing in people that will sit down and have a conversation with somebody and help them become a better prospector.
Yep.
That's what it's about.
That would be Manny and Scott. Yeah, definitely. Oh, Scott.
And I'm still with Kevin too. If you guys are out there, learn how to pan.
Oh my God.
And if you want to learn how to pan, show up to the Phoenix Gold Show, and Scott Swiftwater will be giving free lessons all day.
At the panning booth. After he's done
he
speaking.
won't be giving lessons all day. He'll be gone for at least 57 minutes.
57 minutes.
While he is doing his seminar.
Right.
Oh, I can't wait to go. We're going to be heckling you.
Are you doing it, Kathleen?
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually were planning to go.
Well, it's amazing
two
to
times
me,
a
though.
day?
I'm sorry?
2 times a day or one?
No, just one. Once on Saturday, once on Sunday.
Okay.
So you guys are planning on going too, huh?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Said we were going.
Well, I can't believe that. I cannot believe the subject that he picked. I mean, I haven't got his bio and I haven't got the picture, but I did get that message, that personal message on Facebook that he's actually tackling the idea of gold separation through colloidal geophysical quantums.
That sounds like Scott. Yeah.
Okay, what's that sound? What's that sound like in minor terms?
How to use a gold pan?
How to use a gold pan? That is like we were talking. Like I said, we were going through some stuff about doing the gold show, and which I could burn an hour up pretty darn easy.
Oh yeah.
But I just thought maybe we start out with like a couple like pictures like when I first come to Arizona stuff. But I got to start like how I learned how to do gold and stuff like that. But that's going to be like one of the biggest focuses. Like at the end is you got to learn how to pan, because without that function. You can find gold all day long, but if you can't pan, you're not going to find gold.
Well, and I think all of us that have been doing this for any period of time, especially when we've worked on some of the commercial operations and the different things that I've done over the years, it's a very simple formula. It starts with a gold pan, and it ends with a gold pan.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. If you don't know how to pan, then you're going to struggle.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah. You will definitely struggle.
Yeah. When I'm pulling cores on different properties, and I'm pulling cores maybe 40 or 50 a day, and I'm panning all of that material.
Wow.
And because you have to pan it. You can't. That's something you can't throw into little high bank or a little recirculate.
No.
You have to pan it. You have to feel it. You have to, you have to feel the heft of that pan when you're starting to work it. You need to see how that material is working through your pan. Because as you see that material and as you feel that material, that's going to tell you what you're going to have to do to have good recovery.
Right.
Yeah, and you can't let that core get infected by another core too,
Oh yeah, no way. I mean, when you're out there and you've got 50, let's see, we did one pilot where we were really lucky and we were able to get 50 holes drilled in one day. But we had to we just brought in a water truck. We brought in a water truck to be able to do the panning, and then after we took all the material after the gold pan, it started with the gold pan. Feeling it, and that's what prospecting is. In the long run, you just have a feel for what you're doing.
Sure.
Yeah, you've got 3 cups of material. You throw 3 cups of material into your pan, and you're panning it. You feel the lightness. You see how the lighter particles are acting within the pan. You see everything that's going on. You see what's there. Then you take that, and then that goes, and then you can do further study on it. You can break it down. You're going to take it and you're going to throw it through a stack or shaker classifier type system, and then you're going to run it through maybe a small high banker. And each step of that, at the end of it, you're still using a gold. But now breaking it down, you know what your mediums are. You know what you're dealing with from the very beginning, from the time you break hole to what you've got at your core level.
That makes sense.
Well, you have to be comfortable doing it too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you do. You're right, Rich.
Yeah, but that comes with a lot of work. I mean, if you dig a lot of holes, like Kevin, it's 50 holes. After 50, 100, 200, if you can't pan by then, you might want to find somebody that can.
Yeah, how long are those?
Oh, yeah.
How long are those cores, Kevin? A couple feet?
I'm sorry?
How long are those core samples? A couple feet?
No, most of what we were pulling when we were that day that we actually had some really good material, but we were pulling 36-foot cores, 36 by 4 inch.
Wow, that's a lot of panning.
36-foot long, 4 inch, and then what you do is you're not going to pan that whole thing, but what you would do is you would lay the core out onto a tarp, and then all of that material would be pushed out.
Right.
And you would look at the core,
the layers,
and as you're looking at the core, you're looking at the different layers,
right?
And you're pulling apart. You're pulling a very small section of each section of something like that, or you're looking at the ganj material that is just completely totally worthless. And that was the way that this company actually required to have their coring done. And they used to be in the oil field, so that was typical. That was kind of typical type of coring that you do there and so on like that. But, yeah, I mean, you watch these movies or you watch these television shows where these guys do these ice cores.
Oh, yeah.
And they core down through the ice and they bring it up, and then they look at the billions of years because they're looking at different sections of the core. That's the same thing that we're doing when we're out there doing geophysical, when we're looking at this, at geophysical. God, what a great big word for
that's a big word for this.
The cores are so cool to look at too, because it's like you can measure down, like, if I had to go 10 feet, there's my gold, and the rest of it below it is just nothing.
Right.
It's neat.
Yeah.
It is cool.
Yeah. And then these were non-bedrock cores. When they got into the bedrock and they started doing some other cores, that's where everything got exciting, because you started getting into the schist belts and the bedrock cores. And of course, that's completely different, because now you're taking each layer, and you're taking those layers and you're grinding it. You're absolutely grinding it. Then guess what? You're panning it. You're panning it. Yeah.
Right. And like I said, it's all about the panning. If you can't pan, you're in a world of hurt.
You're not going to find it.
Yeah.
This is true. I mean, you could be on the biggest gold strike there is. If you can't pan, you'll never know it, right?
Yeah, it's like the guy that's trying to take a drink of water with the hole in the bottom of his cup.
Pretty much.
The water's there, he just can't. He just can't
pretty
get
much.
it.
You're right. Yeah, that does. Yeah. That's it. That says it all right there. Yeah. All right, Kevin. I got to ask you this. What's your thoughts on Oak Island? Tell me.
Pass.
Come on, share your Oak Island knowledge with me.
I don't know anything about Oak Island. I really don't. I mean, I read all the books about Oak Island, and I have to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope I don't piss off a couple of people that I know that has something to do with that show. I've never watched. I watched one episode of that show, and I kind of put it right up there with some of the other shows that came out about the same time.
That would be me too, Kevin.
Yeah, it was like, oh wow, I Love Lucy. Okay, cool. It's on reruns. I'll watch that. Oh, Bonanza. Oh, cool.
I'll watch that. Yeah. Okay, I got you.
You know what?
Well, come on. I mean, you're a big detector guy. Now, would you like to go detect on Oak Island?
No.
Oh, tell me how you really feel, Kevin.
It's not what I do. It's I've done the treasure. I've chased treasure before. I've done this. I've done that, and
I don't think your metal detector finds sticks.
Find oak.
Yeah.
It's wrong, Scott.
Oh, he doesn't say a lot, but when he does,
yep,
really
you're right. He does. He does say no filter. Zero.
Oh, I don't know. I believe that I don't believe that there's ever been a treasure that's been talked about that doesn't have some sort of basis in fact.
Right. Okay.
But somewhere something happens, and things get moved, or something happens, or the map gets read upside down, or I don't know.
Okay.
I really don't.
All right. Okay.
I'm sorry, man. I wish I could have a good conversation with you about this one, but
it's all good, man. I'm just wondering if that was something that was like on your bucket list.
Let's talk about gold.
The old bucket lister. You want to go to Oak Island? I thought maybe that's what it was, but man, I was wrong.
You know what? My bucket list right now, and I don't like the word bucket list. I want to make it. It's not. I don't want to do something before I die.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do all these different things while I'm living.
Right.
And never even think about the idea of what that is. And that comes from
basically hunting. So basically, hunting for treasures is off your bucket list.
How many what?
So basically, hunting for treasures is not your cup of tea.
No, it's not. I mean, I work with a couple of people. I do some research.
Oh, that's cool.
Independent research on some stuff with some people on some things that they're looking for.
Cool.
But,
okay.
As far as like packing up everything and running off to somewhere and go hunt for a treasure.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you what, I think I'm going to have a better luck walking out across the desert and finding a schist belt. Yeah, I'm finding a schist belt that I can start dig on and end up with, 100 an ounce a yard.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. Really
and if you happen to find a treasure chest, hey,
right,
yeah,
bonus.
Yeah. Well, and I will tell you, there's one that I think got away, and I will talk about this one, and it was a heartbreaker because I found out about it while we were in Texas last year at the Gold Show. My grandfather was great grandfather was a town sheriff.
Okay.
And he was the first elected law enforcement officer in the state of Oklahoma.
Okay.
And I found these different things about some rifles that had disappeared from Fort Smith, Arkansas, on their way down to the Southern Territory.
Mm-hmm.
And it was supposed to be 25 cases, 20 rifles per case of Sharps 50 caliber.
Ooh.
And they were buried somewhere around supposedly buried somewhere around the Robbers Cave area.
Mm-hmm.
And which is in the south of the Kamish Mountains and everything else like that. And that's one I've chased. That's absolutely one that I've chased for years. Because I personally knew some of the people that were involved.
Right.
Or knew their families and so on. And last year, about 5.5 miles away from the last place that I looked, it appears that from everything I've been able to read, that a couple of those cases were stuck in a sandbank on the side of a river in Oklahoma.
Oh,
and they found that looks like they've recovered them.
Wow. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That would be a sweet
Can you
find.
imagine what 20 Sharps 50 caliber rifles still packed in creosote would be worth?
Oh, I'd just love to have one of them and just sell the rest.
Yeah.
Good God.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be amazing. That's an amazing find right there. Yeah. You could just retire and that would be it.
Yeah.
What would the value on something like that be? Good God.
Oh, I don't even know.
I know, right?
It depends on if you could track down exactly what will happen. I have the feeling that the value of the rifles is going to be one thing, but like any other treasure, it's a historical value of the actual find.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
that would have probably made them. Yeah, just wow. That would have been a cool find. Yeah, that would bum you out a little bit, Kevin. I could see
Mel
that.
Fisher, man. Well, it didn't. You know what? It didn't bum me out. It just made me think. You know what? If I ever do something like this again, I'm not just gonna narrow my search.
Right.
I'm not gonna pick a spot. I'm gonna do the research a little bit.
Okay. Oh, that's what it's
I'm
always.
not worried about it, dude. I've got a whole desert out here loaded full of millions of ounces of gold.
Well,
I'm just out there.
Well, wait a minute. All I hear is out there is old bullets. That's what Scott tells us. There ain't nothing out there but old bullets. Ain't that what he tells us, Shad?
That is exactly what he tells us.
It's only old bullets out there. Don't waste your time.
The only thing I can say to that is, Scott, it sucks to be you, brother.
See, we knew he was doing something wrong. Yep.
No, he's not doing anything wrong. The chances are that, and I think I asked him this the other night, that, Scott, are you finding the little itty-bitty tiny pieces of lead? Little tiny pieces of lead.
Yes, I am, Kevin. Why, Kevin, yes, I am.
Wow.
He's got to be muted.
Oh, wait, I had it on mute. Never mind.
Yeah, we all knew you had it on mute. We can all see the little mute button
what's going
on the Skype thing. We can all see that. So,
yeah, but no, I agree with you.
Yeah. So, Scott, have you been finding those little bitty tiny pieces of lead, like just little shards off of a bullet?
Yeah, like bad. And then you find a lot of, like I said, like old tin foil that's been blowed around a long time, but it's really little pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the tin foil. I don't care about the tin foil. I'm the only thing I'm concerned about are those little itty bitty tiny shards of lead.
Yes, I find those all the time.
Okay, then that's a beautiful sign, man, because gold and lead are very, very similar in their conductivity. So they're going to react the exact same. If you are finding those little itty-bitty tiny pieces of lead, the only thing I can tell you is that you haven't swung your detector over gold. That's it.
See,
so you're not doing anything wrong. Okay, yeah, you're not doing anything wrong. But if your mindset, if you get out there during the course of a day and you start digging a lot of trash like that, and the moment, and I, boy, do I take a lot of crap for this one. But the moment that you're out there and you say, you know what, I'm not going to dig this target because I'm tired. I know what it is.
Right.
The moment that the moment that you can tell me what's below the surface of the ground without looking at, you'll be a god, man. You'll just be a god. That's all there is to it. And Chris, Ralph, and I have had a long conversation, and it was actually one of the podcasts about, do you use your discrimination? Yes, I do. I will admit to it. I do use my discrimination, but that's only after digging dozens of targets, and I know exactly what I'm looking for. And
right.
The only discrimination I'm going to use is iron. There's no way I'm going to use any other type of discrimination. If I question it in any way, shape, or form, I'm going to dig it.
Right.
With some of the new machines, you've got really, really good iron discrimination. We're getting close to that day of having a machine that's going to be able to find gold, gold only. That we're getting closer to that. Every decade we're getting closer.
Mm-hmm.
But Scott, my biggest thing to you is that if you're out there and you just get to that point where you just say, you know what, I'm not going to dig this target, that's when it's time to go home. Just go home for the day.
They come back tomorrow.
Because you're out of it. Your head went away.
All right. Hey, when you're out, you got your earphones on, just because I get this question asked to me a lot too. Do you use double ears, or do you leave one ear off just in case there's a rattler close or anything like that? Or, you know what I'm saying?
I kind of feel like if you're using single ear headphones, and you've got them off one ear, you might as well be hunting with half a detector.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, I've been bit by a rattlesnake. Absolutely. But it was my fault because I did something really stupid. And, it was my fault. So, but I've never had a problem with snakes while I've been out detecting. I never have. And I jokingly, and let me put it in the disclaimer, the remark that is going to be made has no scientific proof and is not open for a discussion because it's just a random thought. How's that?
That's perfect.
I truly believe, no, I'm not going to say that. I have a feeling that when you've got a metal detector on the ground,
right,
and you're hunting it properly and that coil is on the ground, you're putting energy into the ground. You're taking RF energy, you're taking radio frequency, you're putting it into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I have been out before swinging the detector and had a rattlesnake lift its head about 5 or 6 feet away from me. And as I swung the coil in that direction, that snake turned around and took off.
Right.
I always wonder, and I've never really sat down to think about this, but I'd love to have a conversation with somebody that really knows snakes. Because to me, every time I've had that happen, to me, I think it's like, it must feel like a freight train coming to the snake.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because they feel the vibration of that coil going, because you're rubbing it against the rocks. They know something's there.
Yeah.
Or like you said, just the frequency, they're picking up. That makes sense.
They're feeling the energy. I mean,
sure.
Snakes are wonderful for energy.
Mm-hmm.
And then they see heat, so they turn around and see a 6-foot tall heated statue in front of them. Yeah, they're going to leave.
Yeah.
How often do you try to go a week, Kevin? I know you try to get out a lot, don't you?
I try to get out a lot. I haven't been able to get out a lot lately, but I try to get out a lot. It's when I'm able, I'm out daily. But right now, maybe once or twice a month.
Okay.
So with it being once or twice a month, I really want to make it count. So I again, research is the beginning of being able to go out and really become successful. So during the summertime, when it's 120, when you're sitting out here in the middle of the year, I'm doing a lot of research.
Gotcha.
Doing a lot of research. And then when it cools down, like it has been lately, I'm out early in the morning, layered up because it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, buddy.
In the 50s. It's in the 40s and 50s, which is really cold for somebody that's gotten used to the desert.
Sure.
But I'm hitting places that I've done a lot of research. I'm looking at areas not just where gold has been found, but I start looking at the peripherals. I start looking at the areas where old research tells me that there was a couple of guys out there with a rocker box making $2 a day with a rocker box. Well, $2 a day at $16 an ounce. Where they, or people were finding $7 or $8 nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
Nuggets were $7 or $8. $16 an ounce. That's a half-ounce nugget.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
see, that makes sense.
So a lot of research, and that way, when I do get out, I'm getting out and I'm getting into an area that I really, really want to check out. Or, I've got some of my favorite claims that I just go back to.
Mm-hmm. Because I know the reason I ask is because we always pick on Scott when he can't get get out there and do no prospecting. We always tell them, well, just go do some metal detecting or something. And so that's why I was wondering these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to get Scott some tips here to get him out there. Want him to find
Scott,
some
get
gold.
Outside. That's it. Get outside. Take a gold pan and a metal detector with you. That's all you need to do.
See?
Learn how to dry pan. If you don't know how to dry pan, carry water with you and carry your detector. Go out, knock yourself out, have a blast, make some gold.
There you go, Scott.
I can dry pan, but heck, there ain't nowhere dry around here now.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, that is true. Right now, dry panning is dry panning. You might as well be that. Well, I don't even know what it's like down around Caborca, Mexico. It's probably just as wet down there as it is here.
Moist, probably. Yeah.
Moist, yeah.
Probably moist. That's what we would figure.
I know Black Canyon Creek's running pretty good, and that comes off of Turkey and all that from north. So I know it's got to be going.
Yeah, I haven't seen any pictures of links lately, and I haven't seen anything out of. Oh gosh, I haven't seen anything off the Agua Fria, and I haven't seen anything off the Turkey or Big Bug lately, or links.
You know them ones, Scott?
Oh, yeah. Like I was telling him, the Agua Fria, excuse me, the Agua Fria is still going, but past Black, excuse me, past, I just swallowed my own spit.
Did you just swallow a bug?
No. But anyway, the Agua Fria is running past the Black Canyon because it's coming down from up north. But the Agua Fria itself is not running that fast from what we call the east.
Well, I drove by the Hacienda, and I was actually surprised at the amount of water that's in the Hacienda on the on the flat areas, not up high, but still down on the flat.
They still should have good water there.
Oh yeah,
and nice and clear. we don't get that much down where I'm at.
Oh.
Then see, Scott, you could be dredging, right?
If I could find the right ground, yeah.
Darn it. You gotta find it.
But it's, like I said, it's hard, but you know what? I'll get there.
We know. We just like messing with you.
I know, but you know what's driving me nuts? I mean, heck.
Well, that's why I said you need to go metal detecting. At least you'd be out looking for gold, right? You never know. It might be your lucky day.
It's just a thing. I mean, Kevin's got some places he probably goes. It's probably like off the beaten path, and he's probably got a 4-wheel. Now I don't have that, but I can walk 3 miles and be easy.
Sure.
But you got to get to a spot where you haven't had target shooters or people just going back and just shooting guns randomly. You gotta find those grounds where you can get to where like other people just don't go to do dumb stuff like that. And me, I'm always a mile and a half. You're still finding bullets where people shot 22s or showing their kids how to shoot, or bird hunters been out hunting quail,
Right. Gotcha.
Well, and Scott, you got to remember those places like that. The reason that the reason that a lot of them are shooting ranges is because they are convenient. It's real easy to be there. And I mean, I can tell you a story about Soap Creek and I know you've had to been over to Soap Creek.
I know where it's at.
Okay. Well, where everybody used that one area as a shooting range? Okay. 2 hills over from that. 2 hills over, less than a half a mile walk, was a beautiful nugget patch that Floyd Allen found. And the reason there was so much gold there and everything he took out of it, because at that point it was inconvenient. It was really inconvenient. And if I come into an area, and I'm not beating up on any brother, I'm really not. You're more than welcome to come home and go prospect with me anytime I go out. But there's a lot of convenient areas that I go to and just go 1 hill over to where it's not convenient.
Right.
See, I went like 3 or 4 hills over and still found another shooting spot.
Well, I walk up and if I walk into a spot and I see a whole bunch of 223 brass and some 30-06 brass, I know that I'm going to be finding stuff half a mile away.
Sure. Yeah, this is true. But
I mean, now like, Kevin, if I get back here and I find 60, 65, 70-year-old cans, okay, I'm going to start, paying. It's going to be a lot of trash, but hey, I'm in the right spot because there used to be somebody here for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
But when you find like one can and it's like maybe 30 years old, and then you start finding there's a bullet, and then you start finding like the pristine bullets, like it's never hit anything. Mm-hmm. They just shot him in the sand. I'm like, okay, now I'm wasting my time. So my target shot here. Yeah. But and again, that boils down to research, because if you know that there was a good spot a half a mile away and you're working the peripheral, well, yeah, and if I start finding stuff like that, I'm going to go find another peripheral. Or I'm going to start moving closer to where they were working and then try to trend it from there. And if I start finding something, will I put up with the bullets? Yeah, maybe. Right. If I start finding something good enough, I'll just, that's when I change my operation and go in and do something else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind having a bunch of lead in the bottom of the gold pan.
No.
Well,
right.
Didn't say that.
As long as there's gold in there with it.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Oh, we get a lot of that, trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. There is so much lead. I can't believe the amount of buckshot, especially like, number 7, number 9 buckshot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. I've had more buckshot in this loose box than I've had gold more than once.
Hey, Kevin, me and Ben did a clean out one day after an hour in one of our boxes. So we were testing something. Mm-hmm. And as soon as we stopped it, I said, you know what? This has got to be a record. I think he still got the picture, but we had 27 bullets. 27.
Dang.
And we were 4 feet deep. 27 bullets in one clean out. And that's not even the buckshot or the lead. I was like, holy moly.
Wow,
yeah.
That's crazy.
That was a lead farmer.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! We called it the pain in the butt bag because it had all the lead in it. And
hey guys, I'm going to put you on hold for about 10 seconds, or I'm going to put myself on mute for about 10 seconds. I'll be right back. I have to move something real quick.
We're going to go to commercial real quick anyway, so we'll be right back.
Okay.
Everybody. All right. Sound good? All right.
Perfect.
We'll be right back, everybody.
Do you like to mine for gold? Enjoy prospecting a nice crack in the bedrock? Enjoy getting outdoors to camp, fish, hunt, and hike on your public lands? You plan your trip, load the gear, grab the dog, put the family in the truck, and drive off to a locked gate. A sign says you cannot enter or access your own public lands. Mining claims and public land owned by we the people are being designated as off limits by our own government every single day. Are you concerned about the direction our government is going? Are you tired of seeing no access, no entry signs on your lands? We are, and we are fighting back. We are AMRA, American Mining Rights Association, the fastest growing small mining advocacy association in America. AMRA is a 501c3 not-for-profit formed by miners, hunters, off-roaders, retired military men and women to stop the insanity. AMRA was formed to educate, unite, and help the small miners and public land users on their rights given to us by God. Do you want access to great mining claims? For a small tax-deductible donation to their Miners Legal Fund, your family gains access to proven excellent mining claims across America for an entire year. AMRA challenges the USFS, BLM, EPA, and the other agencies intent upon stopping you from enjoying your own lands. You are who pays these people's wages. It is time they listen to us. We need to unite. And that is what AMRA is doing. As you sit here right now, thousands of acres of public lands are being closed, locked, and blocked from use by you. Are you fed up yet? Join us. Get in on this fight and let's restore America to what our families fought and died for. Freedom. Just visit AmericanMiningRights.com. AmericanMiningRights.com. Also, check us out on Facebook at American Mining Rights Association. AmericanMiningRights.com. If you're interested in gold prospecting or treasure hunting as a career, hobby, passion, or just something you're interested in getting into, you have to visit goldprospectorspace.com. At goldprospectorspace.com, you'll find forums, chats, videos, blogs, sections on dry washing, metal detecting, high banking, and so much more. At goldprospectorspace.com. There's a store, classifieds, and at goldprospectorspace.com every Sunday night tonight at 7:30 Eastern Time, tune in to Prospectors Radio, the talk show for gold prospectors and treasure hunters. GoldProspectorsSpace.com is a social network with thousands of members, and everything you need is at GoldProspectorsSpace.com. Sign up today and get connected to others who share your love of gold and gold prospecting. Let the treasure hunt begin at GoldProspectorsSpace.com. GoldProspectorsSpace.com.
In 1858, gold was discovered in the rivers of New Caledonia. This discovery would spark a massive gold rush. Today, the search for gold is much easier, yet still challenging with Dirt Hog Pay Dirt. At Dirt Hog, we pride ourselves on our gold and guaranteed gold amounts. Just visit DirtHogPayDirt.com today and buy yourself a bag of the best pay dirt concentrates on the market. Order with confidence in Canada and North America. DirtHogPayDirt.com. The best gold concentrates on the market, period. Also, be sure to check out our Honest Bonus program.
All right, everybody, we're back with our special guest, Kevin Hoagland. We'll open up the phone lines. If you got a question for Kevin, the number's 419-520-7574. Are you back, Kevin?
Let's have some fun.
I take it that you're back, then. So,
I am back.
Nice. Okay, I had to run too, real quick. I was like, I hope I can, hope I can run and get back before the commercial ends. I was like, dang, whew, that was rough, rough. I'm telling you. So what's? Oh, there's somebody calling already. It's our good buddy, Mr. Lee Hirschberger. Lee, can you hear us? Hold on, Lee. Don't go nowhere. I know what it is. Stupid thing. Lee, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. All right. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
I'm doing okay, man. You got a question for your buddy Kevin?
Well, not so much question as a comment.
All right. That'll work.
I just thought I'd call and let him know that I haven't fallen off the face of the planet.
Oh, I know you haven't. I keep track of you every now and then.
Mm-hmm. See, I don't know if that's good or bad, though.
Let me step out here where I can't hear the computer in the background.
Yeah.
So how y'all been? I haven't talked to anybody in quite a while.
Where you been hiding?
Destiny in life kind of has a way of smacking me upside the head and saying, look, this is not what you were supposed to be doing. This is where you had a whole different plan. So
right.
I had to go the way the plan was.
Right, you had to roll with the plan. I understand. Yeah.
Pretty much. So...
Isn't that great? Isn't that great when you suddenly realize that it's not the right path and you yeah, there's some, there's trauma and a whole lot of other things that are associated with it, but then all of a sudden you just go, you know what, man, this is great.
It all works out.
I couldn't be happier. Life kind of kicked me in the head a few times and said, look, this is not the way you were supposed to be going. Your plan was to build a centrifuge to use it, not to be a salesman, which never really wanted to be, but
right.
It's kind of the way
but you're good at it.
Took me, and then it smacked me upside the head and said, go back to finding gold, and I can't complain. I'm doing pretty good, and one of these times I'll actually get what I'm working on perfected and get it out to the public again.
There you go.
Well, that'd be great.
Sure would be. Look forward to it, Lee. You know it.
But
right?
Oh, indeed. It'll work.
It's all good, brother. You know what?
Well, the good thing, Lee, is that you haven't given up. That has been the thing that has always disappointed me about this industry. Because I've watched so many people that have gone out and they just give up. They give up. They have a bad month, or they have a bad year, or they have a bad, something.
Right.
They just walk away.
Sure. Agree.
No. Giving up is not in my vocabulary. That's just not.
No.
That's what we want to hear, Lee.
I No, I haven't given up. I just took a different path. That's all.
Okay.
Different way
I'm just going to say you had
it.
one of the greatest presentations at a gold show that I've seen in a long time.
Oh, Lee's presentation?
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. Yep, he did.
Well,
missed that. That's why I said, well, Lee will be back with something, won't you, Lee?
oh, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I got parts and pieces here. I'm working on something different, but I don't think I don't have any intentions of actually going about marketing the way I did before.
Okay.
I'm going to build something that I think miners are going to, especially the prospectors are going to want to use, but it's something I'm going to go out and use.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody sees it, wants it, I'll build you one.
Oh. Okay.
Is it going to be big?
What's that?
I just don't fancy myself as a salesman and or a big business guy. I don't really want to be in the business of marketing a product. I want to be in the business of finding gold.
Right. Which makes sense.
If somebody likes what I'm doing to find gold and they want to do the same thing, then I will show them how and help them along the way. But I just don't want to make a business out of that end of it. I want to make the business out of finding gold because I built a centrifuge to find gold. Got sidetracked into marketing the thing, lost track of where I was going, forgot to find gold with it.
Right.
Well, I just didn't have time.
Right.
But I don't regret it in a bit because it did show me something I didn't know before, and that's I'm sitting where there's gold.
Mm-hmm.
I just got to figure out how to move a lot of darn material to get it.
There you go. And I know you'll figure it out.
Yeah, and that to me is easy for you. I mean, I know you well enough that the only reason you haven't figured it out is because you really haven't put your mind to it yet, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Agree, Kevin. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not necessarily been easy so far, but making progress. I feel I did pretty good last year. With the amount that I was able to sell, I did pretty good. So,
we'll see.
Looking forward to, I tripled it from the year before, so I'm planning on tripling it again this year, which puts me at a point where I'm going to say I'm comfortable with it.
Okay. Well, good.
There you go.
That's all that matters, bro.
So, do I need to reserve a booth for you at the gold shows, or at least from one or two of the gold shows, that you can bring your product out and it's interesting that you're saying that you want to go out, you want to find the gold, and you want to be the prospector, and you want to be the miner, but you've got a really cool piece of equipment that you will build on a one-off for people that want that. Because quite frankly, I can tell you, I could give you a list of a whole lot of pieces of equipment that started out just that way.
Wow.
That are still in the marketplace today.
See?
Well, like I said, I don't plan on making a living or making a business out of pushing and or trying to sell the product.
Okay.
No.
I may at some point
you selling it.
be interested in talking about it, and even at the gold shows, if that was to come up. But I don't plan on trying to make a living at pushing what I'm doing and selling what I'm doing.
Okay.
I plan on, from here on out, making a living on finding gold. And if somebody sees it and or wants to talk to me about it, or wants to hear me talk about it, and tell them what I'm doing and or how I'm doing it, then that's fine. I don't have an issue with helping other people, and matter of fact, I would enjoy being able to help others repeat what I'm doing to, find gold and improve their own recovery and such. But I just, and don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the gold shows. I enjoyed being there and the interaction with people. It's just not what my dream is. Right. My dream is making a living finding gold.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense. Yeah, it does.
So,
you don't. I'm
glad that makes sense.
You don't want to be a businessman. You don't want to go down that road. You want to just find the gold. I understand. So when we see what you're using, we go, dang it, Lee, you got to make me one of them. See, then.
Yeah, and that has always, that has been the beginning of more than one company.
I bet. Yeah.
And like I said, there's some of that stuff right now that's still out there that's just, it's built on demand. It's not built to go out and sell. It was something that somebody designed and built and used.
Right.
And if somebody wants one, and you can buy one, but understand it's going to take X amount of weeks before you get it. And if I'm on a trip and I'm out prospecting, and it'll take even longer because I won't touch it till I get back.
Right, because my looking for gold comes first. Because that's what I want to do. Right, I understand.
That was actually my intention.
That's the difference between somebody selling and somebody buying.
Was that I would take it out and use it, because that's what I wanted it for, was to take it out and use it. And if people saw it and liked it and were impressed by it, whatever, asked me for one, I would go build it for them.
Right.
I personally didn't want to make it a full-time job to push selling the thing. I wanted to use it. That's why I built it.
Mm-hmm.
And, if I use it, somebody sees it, loves it, wants one, they get one, they pass it on to their friend or tell their friend about it, their friend sees it, they want one, fine. Mm-hmm. Okay, if it winds up growing, so be it. But that was not my intention of it. I kind of got pushed that way on me. And,
right.
And I have no regrets. Don't get me wrong, I have no regrets for that. But I got sidetracked, and, I got squirrels running around in my head. I get easily sidetracked, so.
Understand, Lee.
I have to learn that whole focus thing.
That's right. You got it. You got to learn it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Lee, you've always been known to be ball squirrel a little bit, so it's all good. Don't worry about it, brother. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, just let us know when you get this first one done. You want to show it to us. I want to check this out.
Will do.
Yeah, let us know, buddy. I want to see. I can't wait to see what you're working on. I always enjoy it. Yeah,
I think you'll like it.
Oh, I guarantee if it's something that came out of your mind, I'm sure I will.
Well, sometimes my mind gets a little sick and twisted, but it comes up with some good shit now and again.
It can't be worse than Dennis's, so I'm all right. We got you, buddy. No worries. Awesome, Lee. Thanks, brother, as always.
Hey, thank you. Now I'll get off here and let somebody else call in. But nice talking to you again, and I will talk to you. Try not to be such a stranger, Kevin.
I'm not a stranger, dude. I'm the easiest person in the world to get a hold of. My problem is I'm always on the phone or doing this or doing that. So I'm not a stranger. Pick up the phone. Give me a call.
All right, man.
All right, Lee. Take care, brother.
All right, brother.
You too.
Bye, Lee.
Bye.
All right, we got another caller standing by, Kevin. All right, hang on. All right. Hello. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Larry Englehart, Menifee, California.
Hey, Larry, what's going on?
Hey, Larry, what's up?
Well, things are pretty good. Good to hear your laid-back voice, Kevin. I just wanted to tell you, I guess I'll see you at that show in Pomona, middle of February.
Yes.
But I have a question about it. I haven't been able to find, maybe it's not there anywhere yet, or maybe it won't even be there. I've looked at all the different GPAA-type sites, Facebook and all that. I'm trying to find out the name of the different seminars and what time they'll be on and who's giving them that Saturday and Sunday. Is there anything on that anywhere?
Larry, that is the one thing I can tell you right now. The seminars have not been posted for Pomona yet. I'm still working on getting a couple of other people. I can tell you that I will be there. I will tell you that Mike Pung will be there. Kevin Bell will be there talking about fluid dynamics. And I'm working on a couple of other folks, a couple of other people. If Chris Ralph is there, then Chris will definitely be doing his Chris has got a brand new presentation. It's just amazing.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if Chris is going to be at Pomona. I'm pretty sure that he is. Yes, he is. He's going to be at Pomona. He's not going to be at Phoenix this year. So until I have the last one finalized and I have all the actual commitments, I just don't have a place. I just won't post it. And as soon as I do, keep an eye on the Gold Prospector or the GPAA Golden Treasure Show Facebook page. That's where I'll post it first.
All right. Well, I guess I'll just see you standing out there while I'm waiting in line to get in. Last time I was standing in line, you said, "Who let this guy in?" So give me a break this time. So I'll see you then. I appreciate your time.
Actually, come in and spend some time teaching some people how to pan, too.
There you go.
Okay. All right. We'll see you there. Thank you.
Thanks for calling,
All right, Larry. We'll see you in a few weeks.
All right. Bye.
Bye, Larry.
God, that's scary to say that. We'll see you in a few weeks. Oh, wow.
Yeah, a few weeks. This is January already. God. Now, Bob Drake asks, is there any gold shows coming to the New England area?
Where?
New England.
Not this year.
Do you guys ever do that area?
We've done Maine more than once. We've done some shows in Maine. I'm trying to think where else. We did a show in Maine a few years ago. I'm not going to say. I honestly don't think that we've been to.
I think you did Pennsylvania one year. That was back in the 80s.
We've done Pennsylvania. We've done Carlisle, Pennsylvania, many times.
Carlisle.
I love that Carlisle show.
I'm not very far from there.
Oh.
Okay, Carlisle, New England. I honestly can't tell you if we've done anything in New England. I can tell you Maine. Wow, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
I'm kind of drawing it right there. That's all I can remember.
Just Maine.
30 years of gold shows, man. I forget.
30 years. Has it been that long? 30 years?
I'm pretty sure last time in Carlisle was like 85, 86 or something, if I remember correctly.
Holy cow! Yeah, that's been a piece of.
Oh no,
that's been a long time ago.
We were in Carlisle. We were in Carlisle in the early 2000s, like
really?
2005, 2000. Yeah, because I was working for Mine Lab.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I was working for Mine Lab one of the times that we were when we were in Carlisle.
Mm-hmm.
And I was lucky enough that I got to spend about another 5 or 6 days in Carlisle right after the gold show. And some people that were there took me relic hunting.
Oh, cool.
To where?
Man, I don't know where.
Took him relic hunting. But
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
But you guys have been doing these shows for 30 years, Kevin?
Oh, no, the shows have been around longer than 30 years.
Jesus, man.
I've been involved with shows for 30 years.
You've been with it for 30, dang.
Back when I was a dealer, well, even before then, I was a dealer for years, so 8 years. Gosh.
I was going to say, I know it's 25 years or better.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Well, and it was funny. A lot of us that were just kind of the old time gold show folks were reminiscing. And this was the year that Alan Trees retired, and a bunch of us were sitting around and we were talking about the old days of the gold shows back in the before George passed away. Excuse me. That security, you'd go to a gold show and you would sleep under the table. A bunch of us would, a bunch of people would sleep under the table, and that was security, and that was an inexpensive way to go to the gold show and do things like that. And of course, you couldn't even get away with something like that now.
No. The shows with the buzzard, those were funny because that guy, he just had a certain way about him, and he was a workhorse, and I used to love it because he would come up and he would go like, "Hey, what are you doing?" They're like, "Oh, I'm digging gold." He would like take the shovel. "Well, hang on, you're doing that wrong. Let me show you."
That was the only man I ever met that could tell you that you were doing something wrong with the number 2 shovel and show you how to do it right.
Exactly. He was great that way though.
That's crazy. Yeah. Dang. The years. That's just a lot of years, man. A lot of years. Holy moly. So the GPA's been around for how many years then, Kevin?
51 years this year.
Oh, my God. 51?
51. Wow. 2018 was the 50th anniversary of the Gold Prospectors Association of America.
Holy cow, that's a lot of years. Wow.
Yeah,
I guess,
it is.
I remember watching it when I was a kid, but I didn't realize I was that old. Man.
Yeah, no. Founded in...
you're pretty old, Tim.
Wow.
I'm an old man. Dang it. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, and it wasn't until the late 80s, mid to late 80s or early 90s that George really started getting out there on television. Really don't remember when it was that he was really starting to push out. But George started the Outdoor Channel and
right.
Global Resources, which started the Outdoor Channel and so on like that. And I still believe that one of the reasons that George started the Outdoor Channel was so more people could hear what he had to say about gold prospecting.
Right.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Because you're dealing in these local markets, and local markets would put you on at some weird. You have no idea what time you're going to be on, and George was the kind of guy that it's like, you know what, I want millions of people to see what I have to say about prospecting. I want millions of people to know about this, the absolute joy of what this is, and everything else like that. So, hey, I'll just start my own television channel.
Yeah,
smart.
Kevin, now isn't there a documentary about him and how he made the Outdoor Channel just specifically so him and Tom could do the Gold Show, and then it just really got big? Isn't there? I could have swore there was a documentary or something about that.
There should be.
No, it's not. There's not really I don't believe it's a full documentary, but what it was some stuff that was done internal. GPAA that they did it, and I think they did it in conjunction with the Outdoor Channel.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of stuff, and a lot of it's like snippets here and there and different things like that. Because you had George that started the show and had his show, and then Perry had Prospecting America, and then this was much later on. Perry had Prospecting America, and Tom had Gold Fever, and just that natural progression.
Right.
What went on from that point.
Yeah.
And then when Perry decided to retire, and Perry had a lot of things on his hands and things like that with the Outdoor Channel, but then he decided to retire, and then Tom retired. So.
Hey.
Here we are.
Yeah, and here we are today.
Yeah, I think it's funny. Like I said, I used to have to sneak over to my neighbor's house because they had, remember the outside, those big steel dishes in the yard?
Oh yeah, the 3-meter dishes.
Yeah, he was the only one in the whole neighborhood that had one of those big dishes, and that's the only thing that I could see the Outdoor Channel on. And the Gold Fever show was on his dish. I think Saturday mornings at 9 or something. It was kind of a hard time because his parents was like, they want to sleep in, but we're in there watching the Gold Show.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was on PBS.
Well, and I liked it because in the market that I was in, when the show first really started coming out and really hitting the audience, the market that I was in ran it at 6:30 in the morning on a Saturday morning, which to me was absolutely phenomenal because I got to watch it, and then I'd just be completely jacked up heading out the door to go find gold.
Yeah, it was on PBS where I was at, and it was always weird times, but still was cool to watch. Yeah. Now, Larry said, do you remember when GPA headquarters was in a little building in Bonsall, California?
Fallbrook.
Do you remember?
Well, I'm sorry, I interrupted. What was his actual question? Do I remember when it was in a little bitty office where?
In Bonsall, California or something? Bonsall, California?
Oh, Bonsall. Yeah, I do.
You remember when it was
I
there?
actually have stationery from that old office. Who was at that aspect place?
Larry.
Oh, Yeah. Oh, yeah, Larry. Larry, I do. I mean, I drop by the office every now and then, from Bonsall and Fallbrook and Temecula, and yeah.
Now, Brian Bedard asked, "Are they going to bring Gold Fever or some version of it back to TV?"
Well, Tom's retired,
right,
and I'm working on revamping Gold Trails, and
I hope so.
Frankly, yeah, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. Coming back to TV is probably not going to happen because, quite frankly, TV's dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it costs way too much money. Yeah, and I hate to say it that way, but it costs so much money to be able to get airtime anymore.
Oh, I can.
And with everything else that goes on, and you take things like, streaming. And here's what amazes me: when channels like ABC and CBS spend more money on their streaming than they do on their broadcasting, that tells me that they're following the trend.
Right.
So as things progress and as we get further down that road, and I can actually start doing more of that, then I'm looking to do a revamp of Gold Trails, but it's going to live in that arena.
Okay.
I don't even believe that YouTube's going to be, now you've got YouTube TV, and I don't believe that 10 years from now or 5 years from now we're going to be looking at YouTube the way we are today.
Probably not.
I think it's going to be a completely different platform.
Sure.
The last of the Gold Fever shows, I thought Kia was going to pick up the show and run with it. I believed it in my heart, but it didn't happen. But I thought it was going to happen.
Yeah, and I think there was some negotiation, or you gotta remember those kids grew up, and I look at it as kind of a generational thing, because the boys, Tom and Perry, and I can't speak for them, and I'm not going to speak for them, but I think about it, and especially coming out of the way my youth was, they grew up within the GPAA, and that's all that's all they really knew. And then, the tragedy with George when he was in his mid-50s, and then the boys picking it up and going from there. The kids have never known anything other than the GPAA and Gold Fever and Prospecting America and things like that. And again, not speaking for anybody, it makes sense for me to see that. It makes sense for me to see that. Kia was definitely the heir apparent, but I think the girl. I think she just wants to live a life for a few.
Makes sense. All right, hello caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Kevin from California.
Hey, Kevin. How are you today?
Oh, my goodness. Well, you know what? I was getting ready to prime up a couple of things about this guy, but hi, Kevin. What's your question tonight? Hold on. Tim, can I take over for just a minute?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Yeah, have fun.
Thank you for listening to the On the Gold podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Hoagland, and joining me, as usual, is my intrepid co-host and producer, Mr. Kevin Bell. Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Pretty good, brother. Hey, I just wanted to...
Crap, it's the wrong Kevin. I thought it's the wrong Kevin.
Is it really?
Oh, my gosh.
No.
Hey, I just really wanted you to kind of talk about how you think that the electronic media is going to push the prospecting message forward.
Well, first off, I wish you would do something to push your phone into a better connection. I can't even understand what you're saying.
Wow.
That's harsh.
No, I was talking about electronic media. How do you think it's going to make prospecting
Can
go forward?
anybody hear him?
Yes. Oh, yeah, I hear him loud and clear. You don't hear him,
Somebody
Kevin?
Somebody may have to translate.
All right. Say it one more time, Kevin, so I can hear you and pay attention.
I said, how does he think that the electronic media is going to push prospecting forward?
How do you think the electronic media is going to push prospecting forward?
Right, and how does that work with just person-to-person prospecting.
And how does that work with just person-to-person prospecting?
Wow, that actually is a great question, and I'll be honest with you. If I could have ever set up a question with Kevin, this would have been it. But wow, sneak attack. You know, we have a future. We this industry, and we were talking about. I talked about this earlier. You know, prospecting is here. Prospecting will always be here, and we're not going to go away. But we're also dealing with an entirely new type of listener or a type of person that's going out, and those people are becoming more and more engaged. And when you look at across the board, when you look at podcasts and you look at and YouTube and different media and different things like that, I think a shift is going to have to happen to some different type of education, some real different type of education that's really geared for people that are working within that realm of understanding before they go out, younger people that may have less time, and a lot of different ways. And I'm going to answer that question up to that point. Now I'm going to jump into a couple other things. Yeah, when I was talking about this before, I think before we actually came on the air, what you guys do, what Prospector Space does, and the way that this whole Prospectors radio thing works, you guys are like my hero. Because you do two of these a week. You do 2 radio shows a week, and it's not a podcast. I mean, yes, it's a podcast, but it's not a podcast. It's a radio show.
Right.
And at any given time, you've got Chad, you've got Kathleen, you've got Dennis, you've got the entire group out here.
Right.
And the coordination and everything else that goes on with that. I mean, you guys really are to me the epitome of what this industry needs to be on that side of it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. We're devoted.
No, you really are. And don't think I'm sitting here trying to blow smoke. This is what you guys do is educational and entertaining, and you have to do those things.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, because you're building this, you're building it, you continue on, and you continue to grow.
Right.
And I look at things maybe a little bit differently. The On the Gold podcast, yeah, we've had some just fun stuff on there and a few other things, but it's designed to be purely educational. It's designed to be able to, you have a guest on the show, and you're limited with X amount of time to be able to do this, and you've got callers coming in, you've got other things that are coming in, but you look at it, you go, wow, that was a great guest. That's the guy I want.
Mm-hmm.
That's the guy I want to sit down and have that and be able to build that 3 or 4 or 5 hour podcast. I don't care how long it is.
Right.
Of just really good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And conversely, when I have those people that come on then I have those people that are on the Gold podcast that I think would be really helpful for your crowd and it's all the same crowd. I mean, it absolutely is the same crowd.
Yes,
but that can offer an entertainment value and have this and do those other things. Believe me, your phone's going to ring, Tim. I'll be. I
appreciate it. Yeah.
Hopefully, we have that. Yeah, I believe that we have that synergy that goes back and forth, and then we continue to do those things.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But as far as electronic, and so with all that said, looking back at some other things, I think that there's also a need for a core of some really different type of educational things, and that is something that will be announced fairly soon because it's something that I've been working on. That I've dabbled into podcasting before.
Right.
And I've looked at different things, and I've been looking at a way to build something that would be. It's going to be education, and that's really what it's going to be. And Kevin has been a big part of that in everything.
Right.
Kevin's got an interesting background. A lot of people just think that he's just a water guy, a guy that patented fluid dynamics, which is one of the most incredible things that when you actually sit down and understand the simplicity of fluid dynamics and you go, oh, okay, I can make that work on any sluice box in the world. I can make that work on any dredge, any high banker, and it's a real simple mathematical equation that's like 1 step, 2 steps that he went through. God knows how many steps to find. Is he still on the phone?
Yes.
Or did he?
Yes, he's there.
Okay. So Kevin sits down with one of the top water guys in the world, and the guy says, "Well, you have to do it in 9 steps." And then and he looks at him and says, "No, I've done it in 7 because water's a constant." And when he shared that with me, I just went, "Oh my God, never thought of it that way." Water is the constant.
Yeah.
So and then let's get down those rat holes or those rabbit holes and so on. We're working on something. We are absolutely working on something that is going to be a part of this entire industry that will be on that side of it, on the educational side.
Right.
Because I've said this on this show and every show. My greatest thrill in life is seeing that person run their gold pan and get that very first piece of gold and see that very first gold.
Sure.
So the podcast, in the long run, with what I'm looking at and what we're working on, the podcast just becomes kind of a really, I'm not going to say a secondary, but it's not the core of what everything's going to be.
Right.
It's going to be much bigger, and it's going to be multimedia.
Right. Now when
I don't know, Kevin, does that answer your question?
Yeah, and I think what you were saying with On the Gold and gold, Prospector Radio and all these things are all these electronic medias that are bringing prospecting across a much larger media than just the point to point, right? Just person to person.
Mm-hmm.
And that's he started to go down the trail with Gold Trails, which was great.
Right.
And now, unfortunately, because it's just way too extensive to have that kind of media, it's nice to see that you're branching out into other ways to communicate.
Right.
And to educate.
Right. Makes sense. And
hey, Tim, have you ever had Kevin on your show?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God! Kevin. You'll have to reach out to Tim.
Yeah, send me some information.
You have to have Kevin on the show because, as a water guy, a numbers guy, and a water guy, in 20 minutes he will teach people. In 10 minutes he will teach people something they've never known.
Sounds good
about water.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was on when I was Aurora Mining Products.
Oh, back then, yeah. Okay, so yes, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
That's been quite a while. Oh yeah, we'll get you on again. Yeah, that sounds cool. Definitely. Heck yeah, why not? Kevin, send me his number or something, and I can get in touch with him.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I'll do his job. He's my producer. I'll do his job. I'll get him. I'll take care of getting all of your stuff. His stuff to you.
There you go.
Hey, Kevin, thanks for calling in tonight. Kevin, I really appreciate it. I really didn't expect you to lambast me with that one. And have a wonderful evening.
Yeah, no worries. You guys have a good evening.
You too, Kevin. Thanks for calling.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Now, and like you were saying with
I really didn't know if he had something else to say.
Oh, well
I just like what he did. Yep, no worries. Well, there's my sign. I'm out.
Whatever.
Well, Kevin, what I was going to say before he called in, when you were talking about, we were talking about Gold Fever, and I used to love to watch that show. Man, when you come out with Gold Trails, you knocked it out of the park, brother. I mean, that was awesome, and I miss those.
Yeah, and
I mean really, you don't realize how good of a show that was.
No, and you know what? As much as I appreciate you, Dennis, you have no idea how much I appreciate your kind words. I really do. And to me, Gold Trails is just a real labor of love because I love this industry and I love everything that we do. And I will bring it back. I will bring it back, and it'll be more me, and it'll be more educational. It'll be more fun. All of those different things. But it's going to take time, brother.
And I know you talked about traveling. Possibly traveling with Gold Trails. So that's why if you ever stop in Indiana, you'll be able to do one at a gravel pit.
Don't give a dog a bone, brother. Don't give a dog a bone.
Well,
see?
Well,
no,
saying,
I do. No, I do, especially in when I'm hoping to be able to announce within the next couple of months. And everything's starting to fall into place, and I think what it's going to do is it's going to kind of bring a whole lot of this industry back together with the core mission of we're supposed to be out there helping. Let's forget about this. Let's forget about what George used to tell us all. And for those of us that knew him, we heard this. Make sure that we always have property. That there's always places for members to come and prospect and gather on. And make sure that we always do everything we can to help inform members. And the last and the most important one is members, always helping members become better prospectors. And that has to go beyond just the GPAA thought. And that's something that I've worked with for years, is that it's not just about the GPAA, it's about anybody that's out there that puts a gold can in their hand, or anybody that's out there that grabs a metal detector. It's about us helping them become better, share with what we have. And I talked about it constantly. I truly believe that I will never keep what I'm willing to give away. And one of the things that I can give away is 50 years of being out here prospecting, mining all around the world, and the joy that has brought me. And quite frankly, some pretty good financial windfalls at times. It's never been
lost
everything else.
Well,
okay. How's that?
There you go. I was just going to say, I didn't know if he was close enough.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, no.
Sorry,
that's okay.
Yeah, my.
You faded out again, Kevin. I don't know what happened there. Kind of lost.
And you got on me too.
What's that? Well, you faded
out on me too.
Yes, it's weird. I don't understand it. Yeah, it's like cutting out, and it's been behaving. Everything's been great. So I guess what we'll do on that note, we'll just go ahead and wrap it up. It's been 2 hours, Kevin. And like always, we want to thank you for joining us and hanging out with us and bringing us up to speed on some of the things going on out there. It's always nice to touch base with you and see what's going on. And some of us will be seeing you sooner than others, I'm sure, in Arizona. So, man, have fun,
Yeah, and announcement within the next that's a whole bunch of other stuff.
See,
once that's all done, I'm having
you guys. See, I didn't hear nothing. Did you guys hear Kevin?
Yeah, I heard him. He said,
"Nope." You didn't hear me, either, Rich? That's how'd you hear him, Dennis?
Hey, we heard him too.
You heard him, Shed?
Fine.
He said he's going to move his studio to where he has better internet and have us all on a guest.
Oh, okay.
That's what I said.
Sounds
That's
like
what he said.
Sounds like
That's what I said.
So let's hold him to it, guys. Okay.
All right. Well, listen.
Shad, translate
and go out and find.
Hey, Happy New Year, Kevin.
Yeah, you two be great.
Take care, Kevin.
See you, Kevin.
Bye, buddy.
All right. See you.
Bye. Oh, mercy. Always a pleasure having Kevin on here with us.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Found out some good information. Hopefully it helped everybody. Can't wait for Scott to do the show in Arizona.
Well, no.
Why are you guys...
Your photo.
Well, look, have you seen it yet? He said no. I was like, okay, well then I'll go back.
Yeah,
and get my other one.
Well, I thought Shad was going to use your photo from the banner. Ain't that the photo?
Well, that's
Why is everybody cutting out?
Because Shed's been busy.
I did send it already.
Huh. See, I'm only getting for you too.
Well,
Rich?
now I'll just send him my bio.
Yes.
It looked like a little midget in front of a truck with an OxyClean shirt on. I think I've seen that picture before.
Dennis, what are you talking about? You're not like 6 foot nothing, Drew.
I'm talking about a photo.
A photo. There's got to be a good one, no, Scott. You got to have that.
I sent the ones. I sent them both the ones Scott originally sent me, and I used for the banner. So they're legit
That's
photos.
Perfect picture.
I wasn't mean about it.
Oh, see, and that's a perfect picture. The banner picture of him is a good picture.
It's the banner one, and then the other one he's posing with his gun on his hip. It's cool.
Okay, yeah, that one.
Well, the reason why I wanted those pictures because you guys want me to wear a Gold Prospector shirt, and that's the one I got, the dress shirt.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Why not wear the same one in the picture? Right.
That's okay. It's the headshot. They just want to mainly see your smiling face. Speaking today, Scott Swiftwater Toady will be a guest speaker at the GPAA Arizona show. Come and watch Scott's PowerPoint presentation on how he started finding gold.
I'll tell you what, it is gonna be different. But you know what? I'm with Kevin on that. I'm gonna, it's gonna be talking about how I come up. But the last thing I got to end off with this is about the panning, because that's the most important thing about it. And it's funny because I've seen people that are good gold diggers, but to watch them pan is like scraping your nails across the chalkboard to me.
Just get jiggy with it, Scott.
Yeah, you just come on. It's already
a technique that works.
Yeah,
right, yeah. Kathleen. I agree. Yeah,
but the super so slow. I'm gonna die right now. No, that's not the way to do it.
It's because you're a speed panner.
Well, I just know once you shake it down, it's down at the bottom.
Right. Agreed.
It also depends on what kind of prospector you are. If this is like something that you're doing for a hobby and every little speck counts as far as, I found it, then you're going to take time.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if I could go through 5 pans before you went through 2, I'm still
why would you have 5 pans? Shouldn't you have used other equipment to get it down?
And slow and steady wins the race.
That's right.
Tortoise in the hair.
Everybody's different.
Yeah, think about that, Scott. Tortoise in the hair.
Different.
Yeah, but you know what? I've thought about it. You guys know I do other stuff. It's a numbers game with me.
Oh.
It's how much can you get moved and how much do you get out of it.
Right.
And then you always check your stuff to see if you're losing anything. If you're losing something, switch it around. Change something up. Something's not right.
Okay, we got you. Well, yeah, I really can't wait to see this because Kathleen and Shad's going to be down there watching you. I guarantee. I think Shad will Facebook Live it so we all can see it and enjoy it. See,
you gotta support our Swift.
You guys, that's going to be funny.
See, so
we'll have a good time.
Yeah, we'll get to see it and see Scott's big moment to shine. And
no pressure.
No pressure at all.
I just hope Manny will be there.
I do too. I would love to see Manny sitting on the stage while Scott.
Hey Scott, though, have you told Manny happy birthday? Because today's his birthday.
I don't even know who Manny is.
It's your rappy.
Manny Coolwater Quinn, man.
Happy birthday, Manny.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. Man.
Hey, by the way, are we going to hit birthdays and medal prizes real quick or what?
Yeah, we might as well before the show ends.
Do it.
Kick it.
All right. Well, obviously, gold's up $22 at $1,552.
So I heard.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Thank you, Trump.
Thank you, Trump, I guess.
What happens when you
silver
launch a missile?
is up 2 cents, but it's at $18.06. That's pretty good for silver.
Yeah.
Now platinum did fall $1 and it's at 984. I really would like to understand that. Palladium is up $32 at $1,979.
$32.
Damn,
what a jump!
Now rhodium, that moved $100 up at $6,150.
Good Lord.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I'm with you. I follow you. Holy moly.
And it almost reminds me of a pump and dump, but I'm not going to say anything.
Pump and dump.
Yeah.
That's the second time I heard that from
I've never heard that.
It's if you ever do stuff at the stock market, it's what they call pump and dump. A lot of money, I should say, moves it up, and then at one time there's going to be something bad come across, and they're going to use that as an elevation point to draw the market back down. It's gonna come back down a little bit, but they make money off that. You build it up, and then the guys that built it up take it and say, nope, it crashes.
Pump and dump. That used to be my name. That's what they used to call me in high school.
No comment.
I don't like that.
No.
That's just too funny. Yeah.
Just say.
Well, with that, do we want to do birthdays really quick?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chad.
All right. We have Big Sky 2995, Chad Sprague, David Luke, David Woodward, Manny Coolwater, Quinn, Nathan, and Rick. Now tomorrow we have Bill, Jeff Truitt, Judy Linford, Leigh Pimpster, Mike Wilkins, and Wyatt Rice.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy day.
So I think we should really quick just take a look at Manny Coolwater Quinn's page.
I think
I knew you were going to say that.
I think so.
Well, he did. He's a recent member. He joined 2019. He pretty much does any and all types of prospecting. Mm-hmm. He belongs to the Swiftwater fan club.
Oh, nice.
He found the site just by chance, and he was referred to the site by an Oompa Loompa in Arizona. Now, what kind of equipment does Manny use? A snorkel.
Gotta kill you guys. Oh, Lord.
You get that Manny under control.
Oh, my
So
God.
happy birthday, Manny.
Yeah.
Happy
Manny.
birthday.
Oh, my God.
Hope you don't get pins in your wooden eye.
Gee.
That was really creative.
Oh,
Yeah, I gotta say that was more creative than I thought it would be. That was awesome. Absolutely awesome.
I thought it would be.
That is amazing. I love it. Oh, man. Mercy, mercy, mercy. And don't forget, Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, tune in to Ed, Jess, and Dan on their Tuesday night hangout. This week, their guest is Jason the Quarter Hoarder. So be sure and check that out. 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday night hangouts. And on
Did you say the Quarter Hoarder?
Quarter Hoarder.
Now that's a $50 handle. I got to give it to him. The Quarter Hoarder. I got to give it to him on that one.
I'm telling you, Quarter Hoarder.
Quarter Hoarder.
Oh, mercy. You guys kill me. Just too funny. We want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Don't forget to join us Wednesday night for West Coast Wednesday right here on Prospector Radio at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm sure we'll be here, and we hope you guys can make it as well. On that note, we're out of here. Have a great week,
Remember
everybody.
to pump and dump.
That's right.
Good night, Gold Digger.
Good night, everybody.
Be sure to tune in next Sunday at 7:30 for another great show. For updates and more info, please go to www.prospectorsradio.com.